Divine Rivals. Whoa, that was... the coloration of adjusting to my skin tone was something. But Divine Rivals is what we're reading today. Here's the book. It is very popular on the Book Talk, which is why I picked it up to read, and I'm very excited to read it. I've read one other book by this author, Sisters of Sword and Song. It was interesting. I hope... I don't remember what I liked about that book, but I did know I like it, so I'm excited to read this one. I think when people talk about this one on Book Talk, they talk a lot about the enemies to lovers, but they don't talk about how in this little synopsis right here, it says they must face the depths of hell in a war between gods to seal their fate forever. There's like gods in this book? I just thought it was two little journalists with a magical typewriter. So there's going to be a lot of information here. Also, my name is Eirelyn. If you are new to my channel, hello, welcome. I don't always sound like this. I am just currently sick, and I'm not having a good time. But it's okay. Everything smells like cheese. Do I know why everything smells like cheese? No, but it does, and I don't really enjoy it, even though I enjoy cheese. But anyway, we're reading this. My reading vlogs are spoiler-filled, if you are new and we're not aware of that. I will talk about what goes on in the books. I won't shy away from being spoilery because I want to talk about the book. So if you have not read this book and you don't want spoilers, don't watch the video, sadly. But if you don't plan on reading this book and don't care about spoilers, then you can read it. I mean, watch it. Yeah, my sick brain is not being helpful at the moment. Also, this is my book club's November book of the month, so if you want to join my book club, the link to join is in the description, so you can join that and read. There is one book that we pick each month. Currently, I am still the only one in the book club, so... But if you want to join, I would encourage you to join. We pick one book. I give like options based off of my TBR for that month, and then we read. So I opened it a little earlier so I could get started on reading this, but let's read. So, I've read the prologue, kind of all the energy I have today. So let me talk about the prologue. I'm an only child, right? So I don't always understand sibling dynamics, but in a lot of books, these siblings feel like there's some weird romance between them, and I don't like it. Like, Iris and Forrest just, like, I don't think there was one part where I'm like, no. I don't know, I can't find it, but I swear I read a part where either he blushed or she blushed. I'm like, why are you blushing to your sibling? Like, that's just weird. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But it seems that there's a part here that says, what if I had been the one to hear the song? If I had encountered the goddess, not him, would he let me go like this? And then, how can you love this goddess more than me? How can you leave me like this? So it seems like a goddess has called him off to war. And also that phrasing is just weird. How can you love a goddess more than me? It's your brother! Anyway, yeah, I don't really have much more energy to read today. And I don't really know how long chapter 1 is. So I don't want to start it and then not be able to finish it. Yeah, that's a decent amount. So 5 pages in. I gotta take more medicine. I'm sick and I do not like it. I'm sick and I do not like it. I'm sick and I do not like it. I'm sick. I haven't really talked at all today because I wasn't feeling that good. It's now 6:15. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but hopefully tomorrow's a better day. I've stopped just before chapter 9. I'm doing kind of storygraph updates while I'm still not feeling that good. So you guys still know what I'm thinking while I'm reading it. And my only bone to pick with the people who have promoted this book, and like, I get it in the way that if you've promoted it, it is actually like true to the story, but then at the same time you're promoting it in a way that's spoiling it in a sense, because at the current place where I am in the book, nothing about the printer either of these people are writing on is magical. The thing that is magical is the wardrobes. They are sliding these letters under the wardrobe, and then it's just magically disappearing. If it so happens that it's like, once the letter leaves the typewriter and then goes under the wardrobe because it's out of sight, it disappears, then it makes sense. But at the same time, it's still the wardrobe, because the wardrobes have to be connected in some way for them to be sent to each other, right? At least that's how my brain is working with it at the moment. I do think the initials on Iris's typewriter, irises also are my favorite flowers. Just thought I would say that. But the initials do on her typewriter. I feel like no gods have the letter with W, but there is Mer, which I think could work if it was flipped. But I don't know. But it said the typewriter was like the third of a kind. So I'm like, if there is another one out there, then and it is the typewriter that's magical, then all your letters are getting sent to this other person anyways. So, but my only other thing is, to me it's not very enemies to lovers, because enemies to lovers versus rivals to lovers are very different things. With enemies, you don't have respect for each other. You have no respect for your enemy, like, at all. Like, you hate this person so much. But with rivals, you still have some respect for the person that you're a rival with. Like, you can admit to yourself, they got me, they did good. But if your enemy gets you, you're gonna be like, how can I win the next time? Like, they're not really doing that as of now in the story. They're having lunch together. Like, you would not sit down for a sandwich if you're enemies. So that's really all. But I'm gonna continue just with my storygraph little screenshot updates. I hope that's working in editing. But yeah, I feel like poop. It's Wednesday. I have not talked to you guys since Monday. This is the state of my voice. I didn't read anything yesterday, so there was nothing to update. I'm gonna read more today, but I wanted to let you guys know I can't talk. So I'm gonna continue with the storygraph little updates until I can talk, which I hope will
be soon. I know my body is making me be sick, so I'm forced to rest. But I find that reading is something I can do while I rest. So, that's what I'm gonna do. It's easier to talk if I whisper, because I'm not straining my voice to try and talk. If anybody else is sick out there, you got this. Hello. So it's been a few days. Throat's a little bit better. A little bit. I gotta push you guys back a bit. There we go. I didn't read for a few days because obviously I was sick and I'm still sick. But I wanted to actually finally talk a bit about the book instead of just doing the story graph updates. I read this. Almost 50% through. I think I'm about to be starting on chapter 22. I am really enjoying it. I will say, I don't know how invested I am in the romantic relationship of the two main characters, just because I know and I'm aware of the fact that she's gotta be so mad at this man, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to get invested to them to get, like, punched in the heart, you know? But I'm more invested in the gods. So, first off, it's called Divine Rivals. Iris and Roman, probably Roman, they don't seem divine. The divine thing is the typewriter and their rivals, sure. But so are Enva and Darcy? Or Darce, I don't know how to pronounce the one god's name. They seem like divine rivals, because they're divine and they're rivals. But one thing I want to say about this author is, because I've read another one of her books, it's like right there on my shelf, and she does an incredible job of the lore of her world building, and like the creation of the gods in her world. Like, it is so well done. And in her previous book, she had it where I think some of the gods started to live on land. And it's very similar in this book. And I really do enjoy her world building of, like, these stories and this history that is baked into this world. And it reminds me a lot of, like, Greek mythology and stuff like that. 'Cause that's, like, baked into the world, you know? So it's really cool to see that. I still think we're going to be misled in some way about the story of the gods. Like, I just feel like the recording of the history is probably going to, like, shift in some way. And I know there's a sequel to this book. I'm not reading that in this video. But I feel like it's going to shift and change. So, okay. So, we got Roman's middle name, which is Carver, and then there's a chapter called C, and then in the dedication, the author says, P.S. I'm talking about chapter 34, which is C. So I'm assuming that's going to end up being, like, the reveal chapter. Okay. I just got to chapter 25. Romaine. I want to say romaine, but that's lettuce. Romaine lettuce. It's Roman said, I have to go away for a while. I feel like he's going to end up having enlisted in being a reporter for the war. Maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. Possibly arrived at the worst time. That is the worst time for this man to have arrived. The siren. So finished part 2. I'm assuming, because Roman interrupted her reading his letter, so I'm assuming in the letter he slightly, hints to the reveal. So I'm assuming when we get to chapter 34, that's going to be the reveal. But now they're both going to the front of, the front lines. I'm enjoying the story. If I were to debrief the story so far, I am enjoying the progress that it has taken. It's a little slow. And me personally, I'm more invested in the gods and what's actually happening with the war, because I feel like the information we've been told, obviously, since the characters don't know much about it, we don't get to know much about it, but from the myths and what we've been told and seen, a lot of it seems false for why the war is even happening, if that makes sense. I feel like something either has to draw them apart, or there has to be, because it wouldn't make sense to save the reveal till the next book, because the next book could be full of angst if they don't get together because she's mad, and then he has to regain her trust, right? So I don't know. Ow. Okay, so she just realized it'd be him, and and she said she just gathered up the letters spread around her and began to gather them up one by one. Anyway, we're in chapter 34, which is C. So she's gonna realize, but I'm I don't know what's gonna happen. They both just experienced extreme trauma. I don't think she's gonna be so mad. A little bit, but maybe not that much. Not done the chapter yet, but this man just fully kissed her. Fully. Passionately. Okay, so I don't know how courting works in this time frame. I don't know what period of time this story is set in. But I was asking if this is a proposal, and then him being if I asked you, would you say yes? Are they not just allowed to date? Do they have to get married? Because that seems big jump. Big jump. The marriage aspect is a little much. It's cute, but it's a little much. They must not be allowed to date. I don't get it. Okay, so I think I have 2 chapters left, and they just got married, and that was sweet. It was a nice moment. It was. I might punch this dude. I do not like her brother. I am pissed at this man. I am so mad. So I finished. All I'm gonna say is Forrest could have saved them both. He could have. He fully well could have. And he chose not to. He saw how happy his sister was and how in love she was, but he chose not to. This man is now my enemy. I do not trust him. I do not like him. But I can already foretell what the next book will be. Obviously, I'm not reading that in this video. But yes. Now, the main question of this video is, was this worth the hype? Was this worth the book talk? Book talk hype. Yes. In a sense. I enjoyed the story a lot. But the way, there's something I can't pinpoint about the story that just irks me. I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint it, but I'm just like, nyeh, nyeh. Like, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I will read the next one, because I need to know what happens, obviously. They better get reunited. I will fight if they don't. But I guess I'm more intrigued about the war. Like, I feel like more sprinkles of what's actually going on about the war could have happened, you know? It all kind of just, it was very abrupt in a sense, which I guess that is war. But I have a screaming cat that I need to go and get, so let me be right back. So we didn't want in, but I did enjoy the book as a whole. I think me being sick kind of taints my perspective of the story as a whole. I do think the author did a really good job at showing that even in like the worst times, you can find love and hope and inspiration for your dreams and whatnot. But there's something where I'm just like, ooh, I don't know. I think that maybe the part that bugs me is that the reveal, it wasn't rushed, but them getting together was. And I know that it was rushed because of the war, but it also could have been done in a different way to lead into the second book where they had just finally been like admitted the feelings and then everything happens, right? Where Iris and Roman then get separated right when she's like, I do want to be with you. Like, I'm sorry my anger's clouded that I was mad at you for not telling me. Like, I think that could have hit harder. I still enjoyed the way it went, but now I know that the second book is just kind of going to be him mind controlled for majority of the time, and her having to be like, fight for me, my brother could do it, you can do it. I don't know. And now that the second book might be a lot more focused on the dark I don't know. But as a whole, I enjoyed it. It was nice. It was a good book. And the story and the love was good. And I understand the hype, but at the same time, I don't. If that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense. I don't really know what I'm feeling right now. I'm just mad at Forrest, is all I can say. This man has made me so mad. But if you enjoyed this video, subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video, which I will be filming in a few days because my filming schedule is now all fluid because of me being sick. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not stressed. It's fine. But yeah. See you then. I don't know. Okay. Bye.